I'd like to ask you to think of 3 things about North America that you have learned in your education. I think that it's important to consider that we're all coming from very different backgrounds here. So this might be things that for some people we learned in kindergarten/primary school. For other people it might be things that we learned in high school or in things like college, what we're doing right now. And then others, there might be immigrants, and so it might be coming from places where, we're learning about things for immigration status. So there can be a wide variety of things we can name. But 3 things that come to mind when I ask you to think about North America. Now, I'd like you to consider about those 3 things, how many of those things have to do with things that occurred after the 1600s. Now, the reason this is important is that after the 1600s, we're kind of talking about the colonial era. So we're talking about things that happened after Britain invaded and we, colonized the North America nations. And now we have what we would kind of consider modern day America. And in general, this is the period of time that the curriculum that we are taught growing up in the United States, obviously outside of the country, it's a little bit different, but inside the United States, this is generally what we are taught about. And what's fascinating about that is that makes up 0.02% of the total of human history in North America. And as many of us are familiar with living here, is that we kind of came in, we colonized, and the people that we colonized in this area were Native Americans or indigenous or tribes, or there's a lot of different words that can be used. And what we're looking at now is that in modern day we have all of this group of people, and now they are held in reservations. Not legally held, but so we have all of these people kind of conjoined into these reservations, and in government kind of slang that's called Indian land, but in general with modern day people, I feel like people just call them reservations. So for the purpose of this speech, we'll just say reservations. Now, the reason that I think it's important to talk about this today is because when you're talking about all of this stuff that we think about as North America, as American citizens right now, and if that's only making up 0.02% of the history of this continent, I do not think that that indicates that we are a informed populace. And I think that's extremely important when you're talking about a disenfranchised and minority group of people that are here and still have a say in our politics. And I think that my purpose for today is to just raise awareness, not about specific causes, because I just don't have enough time to tell you about those things, but about where you can find information about specific causes, because that is not taught to us in school, as to where to find information about reservation action, and that is not something that we discuss in public education in America. So to start, I think that it's important that we talk about things like the Native American Online News, which is an amazing organization that just has media content about Native individuals and also about different political movements that are going on right now, as well as other things like missing persons reports that often statistically do not make it into the media, according to the Native American Online News. I think that that is a great resource for people to be aware of. There's a lot of things about land back movements, and those are particularly important because they're happening a lot in Washington right now, and they're very misinformed in broadband media like AP News and CNN. So I think that's a great opportunity to diversify the media that you're intaking and look at different people that are stakeholders in the situations that you're learning about. So one example. Now, I also want to recognize that it is a privilege to have the time to do more actionable steps, and if you can kind of switch up your media intake, whether that be TikTok or anywhere else where you're getting your information, or if you are someone that reads AP News, and focus on those stakeholder organizations and get a little bit more information from different points of view, I think that that is an amazing step, and if that's where you stop, I understand. For people that want to go a little bit further in their research, there's other organizations such as the Indian Bureau Association, and that is an association.gov kind of website that is BIA.gov. So Bureau Indian Association, words. So that is an association that you can look at, and the thing that's benefited by that is that they also have the Zoom links for hearings that are happening. Primarily, I've noticed they kind of focus on the western side, but they do have different regional sectors that they kind of cover in this large thing. And so you can find a lot of information if you want to attend these hearings, and also have fact sheets because people in Native reservations are criminally underserved in the academic space, so you can get different views on kind of STEM related papers. So all in all, what I'd like to say is that it is not your responsibility what your education was growing up, but as a learner, it is your responsibility now to make educated decisions about what you want your future to look like and how you can be more informed about what that future can be. So take a minute today if you have a chance, and if not, I understand. And maybe just diversify what you're looking at. Thank you.